Music.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I am your host, Michelle White, and my co-host, Dr. Regina Hall. We thank you for tuning in to Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts. We are here this evening with Jessica Qualley. Did I pronounce that right?
That is correct.
And she has a beauty supply store that will be opening it up soon in the Michigan area, and more to come around the world. We're going to put that out in the universe right now. And so she's our guest this evening. But before we get started with Miss Qualley, we like to give you some information about some community updates.
Yes.
And this coming Saturday, one of the updates is we have the Lions Club International, our very first fundraiser, which will go towards the recycling and the environment furniture giveaway. So it's a movie that's going to be held at the Farmington Hills Imagine Theater at 3 o'clock. And for $15, you get a movie, popcorn, and a lot of giveaway prizes. We initially had 7 gift cards for restaurants to give to you, but now we've got 25. Woo woo!
Good.
And we got a $100 Amazon gift card, and there's going to be a 50-50 raffle. So again, that's this Saturday. If you call 248-988-8200. Again, that's 248-988-8200. And that happens to be ABB Wealth Strategies, who is one of our sponsors for the show. So give them a call. Just reserve your seat. You pay at the door. If you call the company and it's after hours at 248-988-8200, leave your name, your phone number, and your email address, and they'll send you a confirmation. Again, that's this Saturday, April the 13th. It's a movie called Baby Boomers, and it's not the old Baby Boomers, it's the new Baby Boomers. And so you'll get all of that for $15, a popcorn movie, and a lot of gift prizes this Saturday. So that's one
3
thing.
3 p.m., right?
At 3 p.m. Yes, ma'am. And if you go to my Facebook page, Michelle Turner White, you're going to see all kind of jobs and food giveaways and information that is helpful to communities around the country. And Dr. Regina, did you have anything? Oh, one other thing. We have our furniture giveaway is not until June the 15th. But for those of you who are listening, if you have items you would like to donate, couches, beds, sheets, towels, and you don't even have to ask me, do you take it? Yes, we take it. Anything that is something that we use in our homes, we'd like for you to give it as a donation if you can, and it'll help someone else. Don't throw things out in the front yard. That doesn't help our landfills, our waterways. It creates bad water systems, bad landfills for our environment. Give those things to someone else. Now, we don't take junk, but if it's good stuff, let's give it to someone. Mm-hmm. We're helping people out. To date, we've filled up over 1,500 homes with furniture just since 2022. So we appreciate your donations. And then if you'd like to make a monetary donation, you can go to metrodetroitlions.org. And if you go to the donation button, the very first button is the recycle furniture button. And that's metrodetroitlions.org. And you can make a donation. If you have any other questions, you can feel free to give me a call at 248-238-488. And the big giveaway this year will be on June the 15th, where we are having people just come out, bring your own truck, get whatever you need for yourself. And we have a caller. So we thank you, caller. Hello, caller. Hello, caller. Hello.
Well, how are you?
All is well. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I just got that message, too.
This is someone whose podcast I was on the other day, and he's calling in right now. And
Okay.
And you're on air, sir. You're live and on air right now.
I'm live.
Yes, sir.
This is Brother Stephen from Michael Van True Blog Talk Radio. I really appreciate you also, Brother Stephen, for 1440 AM. Thank you so much. Shout out to you today. Shout out to Detroit today. What's happening? What's popping?
All right.
You are. We thank you for your energy. You're our first caller. We're just getting started here with our podcast, and we thank you for tuning in and calling in. And we have an awesome guest today who's starting her own hair. She's already started her own beauty supply store, and it's going to be in the Rosedale Park, Grandmont area.
Okay,
and so you can
awesome.
listen in and hear the wonderful things she's going to be telling us. And she's a person, an African-American young lady, and that's awesome to have her starting her own business in hair.
God bless her. We want to get her to come on my show so that we can shout her out and get her, let the city of Detroit know everything that she's been doing. I got a special guest for you today, Minister Michelle.
Yes, sir.
Your foreman is in the car with me right now.
All righty.
Podcast.
Yes. Well, hello, sir. Mr. Terrell, how are you?
How you doing?
All is well. You're live and on air. Huh?
I said all is well. How you doing?
All is well. Yep, you're live and on air. So we
How
thank
you all doing today?
We're great. Tell us the name of
Beautiful
your.
day in the city.
Yes, it is.
He talking this morning.
Tell us the name of your podcast, Minister Kathy. Tell us the name of your podcast again.
The name of mine is yours.
Yours.
Mine is Michael Van Tool, Blog Talk Radio, and also 1440 AM every Wednesday at 8:30. But I'm on Michael Van Tool, Blog Talk Radio every Sunday morning from 9 to 10:30. And I look forward to hearing from you all.
All right.
Awesome. And I'll share your number with our guest today so that she can come on your show as well. And thank you for having me as a guest on your show on Sunday.
Anytime. God bless you guys. I'm putting in for work.
All right. Thank you for calling.
All right.
All right. So you are tuned in right here live at Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts Podcast. We thank you for tuning in, and I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Regina, who's going to give some station ID and all the other things she does.
Yeah, so you are watching Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. So today I just briefly want to share with you, because this is Stress Awareness Month as well as Autism Month.
I'm stressed.
Yeah, I know, right? And it is stress is often something that we look over, and we don't really think about stress being the first thing that comes to mind. Okay, we don't really think about that. So what happens is we are feeling overwhelmed because we haven't set healthy boundaries. We haven't done the self-care that we need to do. We haven't really been eating right. We haven't had work-life balance. We haven't done any of these things. So stress begins to build up, right? It could be because some of us have children or grandchildren, and we have work, and we go to church, and it's just so many things that can contribute to stress. So bringing awareness to it. Stress Awareness Month is in April. It's been going on since 1992, and really helping us to understand that it can be a killer in our lives. So what we want to do is just make sure that when we are feeling overwhelmed, when we are not setting healthy boundaries. Now, what does a healthy boundary look like, right? So think about this. A healthy boundary is about your fence. and what you are willing to allow to come into your space. Okay, so think about a nice picket fence being around a house. And the only way someone's going to get in if they open up that door. So what you are allowed to come into your space, what you allowed to come into that door, it is going to determine how stressed or stressed you're not. So setting healthy boundaries is about parameters. And some people are not comfortable with setting boundaries. I have heard people say, well, is that right? Can I really set that? Can I really tell that person that? Yes, you can. And you can do it in a nice, respectful way. Nope, just can't cuss them out. I said nice, respectful way. Because oftentimes people are being who they are.
Yeah.
People. That's what they're being. And let me tell you something. One thing I have come to learn, I have family members, they know how to set boundaries. They know how to tell me no. I had to learn and say, you know what, that no sure sounds good. No. So just a flat out no. So this week I want you to practice something. Do it nicely. Do it with kindness. But if it's something you don't want to engage in, don't be a people pleaser. Say no. Start setting healthy boundaries at work. Get off when you're supposed to get off. Show up when you're supposed to show up. Do your work. The work is going to be there. And I have come to truly understand that if we don't take care of our lives, no one's going to take care of it for us. So I encourage you to really think about how you're coping with stress in your personal and your professional life. So that's all I have for that. But I do have a question, Michelle. I've been thinking about our podcast and questions that we can ask, and people can call in throughout. Plus, I want you to call in and ask our guest, Jessica Kawali. And the number is 313-355-6018. She's doing powerful work in the community, and Michelle's going to read her bio to you. And I just want you to think about this question. And it's just a question. It's a question of curiosity. Are we sleepwalking into dictatorship? Just a question I want to put on the table. We can move on.
That's a good question.
Are we sleepwalking into dictatorship? I just want to know.
Are we Well, we got to discuss that. Are we sleepwalking into dictatorship?
Yes.
Wow.
Think about it.
Wow. You talking about the presidency.
I'm just saying.
I'm talking about individually.
It could be both.
Yeah.
However you want to sleepwalk. But I'm just wondering, are we sleepwalking? Because if we are sleepwalking, then you better wake up. That's all I have to say.
I like that. Thank you, Dr. Regina. Be sure and call in at 313-355-6018. We got some hot topics. We got some hot things to discuss. And we want you to call in. And Miss Jessica Kawala, we are so glad to have you as our guest. I can't say enough how pleased I am to meet you, an African American that has her own hair supply. Yes. Now, for those of you who are listening that are not African American, we amongst our culture say all the time, how come there aren't more? We buy all the hair. How come there not more African American supply stores? So we're buying from ourselves. So I'm glad that you are part of the solution.
Yes.
Amen.
Thank you for that.
That's awesome.
So, Ms. Jessica Kawali is no stranger to identifying and servicing the needs of others, which is why she is the founder and owner of Jessica Blair Beauty. And as a native Detroiter, she was always at the epicenter of beauty and fashion. Mm-hmm. And I can tell you look so beautiful today. So growing up in the inner city made her realize that there was a major lack of representation and ownership in the beauty supply industry, reflecting its largest consumers. That's what I just was saying. We're the largest consumers in that industry, but not representing it. Yes. So after experiencing repeated incidents of poor customer service and a lack of knowledge in beauty hair care and local beauty supply businesses, as well as being made aware of the disparity in Black-owned beauty brands being denied access to sell their products in local beauty supply stores, she made it her sole mission to create a hair care disruptor by the people and for the people.
Absolutely.
So as a graduate, I do too, I love that. As a graduate from Michigan State University with her Bachelor's of Science, she got her start working with underserved youth and adults through several roles in medicine. And as time progressed, so did her desires to impact her community on a larger scale. Like many entrepreneurs, she realized that one day I wasn't living out my true passions. And so she decided to work 14 to 16 hours a day. And that's what it took to help build her own empire. And so she's armed with personal knowledge and a passion for beauty. And as she begins taking her business courses she started taking in July of 2020 and setting herself up to be the boss lady. All right, boss lady. She knew it would be a nickname given to her by a former 5th grade teacher. That name stuck with Miss Jessica, and she became one of many fuels used to create Jessica Blair Beauty LLC, a curated beauty supply company for the audience she knows and loves. Thank you, Miss Jessica Blair.
Yes.
Thank you.
So welcome. Glad to have you here.
So I'm looking at your long, pretty hair as I'm looking at you, and then I'm looking at this picture here. Was your hair always this long and thick and healthy, or did you do some things to products that you put in your hair to make it that way?
Yes. So,
Okay.
funny story. And I know my mom is watching, so please don't get mad.
Yeah.
But growing up, I feel like a lot of African Americans didn't really know how to properly treat our hair. So my mom grew up in the era of perms. So when it came to me and it was time to do my hair, she would just perm my hair, like over and over and over again, you know, to keep it tamed and looking nice and neat. However, it was around maybe like 8th or 9th grade when I was like, okay, like I don't like how my hair looks. It's breaking off. It's brittle. And it was like that moment when I decided I'm taking my hair care into my own hands. Okay. And I went like completely.
You said 8th grade. You said, okay, Mom, you did your due. I'm taking over my hair, my crown.
So I went completely chemical free for like the whole time I was in high school. Okay. And it was like from that point my hair just started flourishing. And I was like, you know, I feel like a lot of times we really honestly truly didn't know what was needed for our hair and how to care for it. I do use like hair growth oils or stimulating oils, but really that wasn't even what was really needed. It just needed to be treated properly and, you know, not putting a lot of heat on it, not putting perms in it. It really just helped my hair flourish naturally. So
Yeah.
Well, it is flourishing, young lady.
It is.
Thank
It's
you.
beautiful.
It looks beautiful.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Yes. When Michelle was reading your bio, she stated that you have a BS in science?
I do.
Yeah, tell us more about that.
Yes. So, funny story. I had a very interesting journey at Michigan State.
Okay.
I started off thinking I wanted to be a doctor. So, I initially started off as pre-med. Got into pre-med. I said, ooh, this is not it. I immediately switched to pre-nursing. So, at that time, I also thought I wanted to be a nurse. Unfortunately, although I had a 3.89 GPA, it still wasn't good enough for Michigan State's nursing program.
Okay.
So I did not get accepted. So I'm always very open to tell people, like, I did not get accepted into Michigan State's nursing program.
Wow.
So it kind of forced me to go into kinesiology because that was the second thing that was kind of aligned with medical, and I thought I wanted to be, you know, something in the medical field.
Okay.
So at that time, I just immediately switched to kinesiology, and I finished with kinesiology. So
Congratulations.
thank you.
So what is that?
It is the movement of the body. So it's like the science behind how the body functions, how it works, exercise. A lot of people who do athletic training, physical therapy, occupational therapy, they pursue kinesiology. And at that time, I thought I wanted to go into physical therapy. And as you can see, I went a whole different route.
Yes.
Yeah.
So how did the science help you though?
I would say it more so helped me with lifestyle. So at that time, you know, like I said, I thought I wanted to do something in the medical field, but I still appreciate my journey at Michigan State because a lot of the courses somewhat overlapped with what I'm doing now, and it also taught me discipline. So at that point in time, when I had those very rigorous courses at Michigan State, It taught me discipline, and I use that same discipline now in my business, or I use that same discipline when I'm taking business courses. So I don't always look at it as, you know, oh, I wasted thousands of dollars on a degree I'm not really using, because it really just set the tone for what I really was supposed to be doing. And then also, like I said, it taught me a healthier lifestyle. And I appreciate you talking about stress earlier, because that was another thing for me as a business owner. You can only imagine how much stress you encounter.
Yes.
And so it's funny because here lately I've been going back to the library, re-studying my kinesiology, studying the dietary books, nutrition, and I've seen a change in my stress levels just naturally off of the food I've been eating, just going to the gym, working out. So it's funny how things just come full circle. I'm using that degree again by default.
Yeah.
I love that. I love that.
Yeah.
So is that how you decided to get involved in the hair business or the hair care industry, because of the journey with your own hair care?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I will be completely honest to tell you guys the story. 2020, I was working at a psych hospital. So this was when I was still working in the medical field. And in my bio, when I mentioned working 14 to 16-hour shifts, if you guys remember, that was the pandemic, the height of the pandemic.
Okay.
So I was getting mandated left and right, which means I'm required to stay in this psych hospital for 16 hours. And it reached the point where, I'm gonna be honest, I felt like I was about to turn into a psych patient. I was there from roughly 1:30 p.m. one day to 7 a.m. the next day. And so it was like one night I was just so fed up. Like I was like, God, I can't do this no more. And that same week that I had that experience, when I went home praying about it, I'm like, I can't do this psych hospital. This is not what I want to do. I went to Michigan State for 4 years, and you know, I realized this is also not what I want to do. That same week I was also at a beauty supply store right here in Detroit, and I won't say the name, but I experienced something that was kind of life-changing. I was waiting in line to purchase some hair, and it was a lady in front of me with her son, who was about 2 years old, maybe 3 years old. And you know how kids are. They just touch stuff, they run, they play. But the way the owner yelled at her child, I mean, completely yelled, like at the top of his lungs, showing that he had no respect for the mom or the kid, all because the little kid was just running around, just touching stuff. He wasn't grabbing stuff. He wasn't breaking it. The owner just, you could just see the disgust. So this all was like in the same week. And it was like one night when I was just praying about my job, and I'm like, I just need I need a change. I can't do this. When I woke up that next morning, a beauty supply store was just in my head, and I didn't know why. I couldn't figure it out. I'm like, a beauty supply? I had never thought about a beauty supply store.
Okay.
And I had a journal that I used to keep on my nightstand that's had the quote, "Write every moment." And so that's been the journal I've used that has carried me this far, because I still have the journal from the very first entry where I was just feverishly writing down ideas like that I thought was crazy, but I just woke up writing stuff down, write every moment, and it's carried me all the way to this point. And
Awesome.
That is awesome. I love that.
yes.
And so you've been in business now for a little while. You've been selling things online.
Yes.
And you have a store that's going to open up when?
I'm hoping the beginning of June.
Okay.
So it's under construction right now. The interior designers and architects just finished the rendering. So we're actively getting everything together now. I'm aiming, though, for a grand opening beginning of June.
All right. That's right. You got to see the vision first.
Yes,
So June, it can happen. It's going to happen.
Yes. And I've always said I wanted a summer grand opening, so I kind of got it by default.
All right.
Yeah. So what are so when you think about in your bio, you talked about being involved in the community, and your business is in the community.
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me the correlation.
Yes. So one of my biggest things when I was creating my beauty supply store was to figure out, okay, not only do I want to, service the community by giving them, providing their hair products and skincare products and cosmetics, but how can I pull it back, and how can I also create generational wealth for other people? And so I noticed there was a lot of Black-owned beauty brands right here in Detroit who have great skincare products, who have great cosmetics, all kinds of products. And so that was one of my missions, to allow them a space within the storefront where I'm highlighting some of these local Black-owned beauty brands
Very
to
good.
give them a chance to get their name out there. So that was one of my main things for this beauty supply store. And then also to have licensed professionals come in and do classes. I've already talked to some local hairstylists, nail techs who will also come in and provide education on certain products. Because you don't know what you don't know. And like for me, like I mentioned earlier, we didn't know like how perms were doing our hair years ago, but now we know. So that's why I do want some local stylists and nail techs, estheticians to just come in and do classes for my customers.
All right. So, you know, there are a lot of business or agencies out here that are helping because somebody is saying, oh, I want to start a business, but not quite sure. Did you work with any of the agencies that are helping people start a business?
Yes.
Okay, tell us
So it's
about that.
funny because a lot of my friends call me the queen of resources.
Yes.
I'm all for getting stuff for free if I can. So I will search high and low on the internet to find what's available and what's out there. And I will say right now, Detroit is like the up and coming. Like they're offering so many services for people who are trying to get in business. One of the first programs though I worked with was Prosperous Detroit, and that was back in 2021. Shout out to Dr. Marcus Harris. I don't know if he's listening, but he was my instructor for Prosperous and helped me solidify my business plan. So when I had this beauty supply idea, it was just the idea. I didn't know about financial statements. I didn't know what a cash flow statement was. I didn't know what a balance sheet was. I didn't know what a profit and loss statement was. So Prosperous was very instrumental in helping me get my business plan solidified. And then at that same time, I also did Tech Town. And I participated in their retail boot camp, and I won their pitch competition. Well, was one of the winners. And retail boot camp was amazing. Like it showed me all the things I didn't know about branding. You know, we think, okay, you could go into a retail business, just open up shop, but you don't realize how important branding is. You don't know how important product placement is. And they taught me those kind of things. So it is a lot of great programs right here in Detroit. Detroit Means Business, that's another one, who I'm actually working with right now, who assisted in me getting the architect and the interior designer to design my space. Motor City Match. Shout out to Medvis. He was the one who found my storefront. So I definitely take advantage of all my resources.
No, I love that. The reason why Community Updates, when I started this podcast, same reason. Queen of resources.
Yes.
So I needed to make it available. And then you're just mentioning, so you just mentioned 4 different resources that you use to help you start your business. And there's somebody listening right now that's thinking, well, if I go to one, I can't use the other one. But that's not so. When you're out here, you can go to all of the different agencies, and one helps with one thing, another one helps with another. And even if they're repeating, it's just ingrained, getting it ingrained of what you need to know that has helped you today. That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. So
Well,
go ahead. Go ahead.
You know what I was going to say too. I consider myself to be the queen of resources. Yeah, and but tapping in to resources require just what I just said, a tap in. It requires research. I love you said you've gone back to the library now, and you hear often that people don't want to do research. They don't like reading. Get a lot of that. Well, I don't really like reading. And reading is fundamental. It really is. It's required. Even if you just listen to a book. So what are some suggestions that you would really say to people who say they want to get into business, but they struggle in some areas?
Yes. So the first thing I would say, and that's coming from me being still a fairly new business owner, I hate to say it, but you have to change your circle. So when you have that business idea and you go to some people who are stuck in their own ways, those are not the people that you talk to about what it is that you're trying to do. You have to find that network or research and
Like-minded people.
Like-minded people, exactly. Because, like I said, it's so many resources out here. But if I would have just, went off of the first few people I had a conversation with, who shot it down, I wouldn't be where I'm at today, you know. So through this time, I've learned, as much as it might hurt, it may be people you've known for years, it may be family, it may be friends, but sometimes you have to learn how to separate business from your regular personal life, because you need that support system. That's like been the number one thing for me. Just having the right people in my corner, having the right people giving me the resources, having the right people giving me right advice, because that's another thing. But I would definitely say too, to just start somewhere, because I was that person. It may sound cliche, but I literally had a book where I wrote every moment, where it could be the most ridiculous thoughts, like just incoherent scribble scrabble of my business ideas, and you can put it together later. But if you don't actually start putting this information somewhere, you're just never going to do it.
That's awesome. That's true. You're not going to do it. Well, you need to write it down, right?
Yes. And I read somewhere that it said, write the vision, make it plain, and they that read it are going to help you take it to the next level and run with it.
I love that.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Well, that's Habakkuk.
I know.
Okay.
I just I wasn't giving the scripture, but it's the scripture in the book.
Habakkuk.
Yeah.
I just want to give credit where credit is due. Okay, well, I won't give you the rest of it, but Habakkuk. Yeah, so someone helped you to find your storefront. Okay.
Yeah, so it was a very interesting journey. I initially started looking for a storefront in 2021. I had one picked out that I was going to go with. I had been dealing with them for almost a year, and then things just start not going right. You know, they stopped being responsive. They didn't want to, do the build out that I was trying to do, because it's a beauty supply store, and they were trying to treat it as suite style, where you enter one generic door and it's all these suites. And I said, that's not going to work. Like, I need my own entry. I have to have my own branding and my own window that you can see from the main road. So it was like I wasted a year of
they were trying to take a food sweet shop and put it with the
No, so when I say suite style, they were trying to do like one door to the building, and then they have multiple suites. So like suite A, B, B, C, and I told them that's not going to work for a beauty supply. So after that year, after me losing a year, it was like back at ground zero. Like, okay, I'm starting over again to find a location. And I kid you guys not, I probably went to see at least 20 properties.
Okay.
And it was just not, everything, either it was poor parking, it was a bad location, or it'd be a good location, but the parking was bad. It was just, I couldn't find that one good location. And this just happened so seamlessly. Like I said, I had been working with Motor City Match. Mevis called me not too long before Christmas. He said, I saw this sign up in the window. I think you might like it. Do you want to come see it? I put the address in Google Maps. I said, oh, I like this storefront. Went to go see it. And the very first day I saw it, I remember sitting outside of my truck praying. And it was like, I know a lot of young people now like to say manifest, but I was praying, and I called it. I said, this is my storefront. I knew then. I said, this is going to be my storefront. And it just happened.
And tell us where you're going to be now. That's opening up in June.
Yes, so it's in the North Rosedale Park area. It's on Grand River. I do give the address even though it's not open, but it's going to be 18724 Grand River Avenue. And that's Detroit, Michigan, 48223.
And so that is right near the Southfield Freeway, between the Southfield Freeway and Outer Drive.
Yes.
So between Southfield and Evergreen.
Yes.
And so it's at 18724. It'll open up in June. That's the soft date for right now that she plans on opening the store. Do you have a name? Oh, it's going to be called Jessica Blair. Is Blair your middle name?
Yes.
Jessica Blair Beauty LLC.
Yes.
I love that.
Yeah, I think
that's
really
an awesome
special.
location, because location is everything.
Yes.
And you have a lot of, that's a little mall, a little strip mall. And so there are a lot of, isn't there a grocery store still in there and some other things where people can go from one building to another one?
It's actually really cool, because the strip mall I'm specifically in has a beauty spa right next door to me, a barber shop next door, a hair salon, a flower lady.
So people
and
gonna
a
be
nail
running in
salon.
there all the time.
So we're all like
I think
somewhat
that's
connected.
awesome.
So it, like I said, it happened seamlessly.
Well, you know, it sounds to me, because I heard you say that you prayed,
I did.
and so God said He would do exceedingly and abundantly above what you could think or ask, according to the power that works within you.
Now,
Yes.
she
So
done
you
gone all
prayed.
scripture.
Yes.
I mean, from not wanting to walk right into it.
It just came to mind.
Well, we want you to call in to
Yeah.
313-355-6018. And even if you don't have a question, encourage our young entrepreneur.
Yes.
I mean, she's taking on something huge and big. And I can also recall when I walked in stores and I would say, why? Not that it's all wrong. I'm not putting it out like that, but where are we in this market? Like you said, we buy the most hair and everything, so where are we in this market? And we're not. We're not. And so the fact that you're opening up a hair beauty supply store, I really commend you for taking on this big feat. This is a huge feat. You know.
We want to get out and support you.
Yes.
Everybody that's listening right now, make sure you get out and support and go to Jessica Blair Beauty. And people can buy your stuff right now because you sell it
Yes.
online,
So
right?
I do have some products online, but the storefront is going to have
Everything.
Yeah.
Right now it's limited online.
So call us at 313-355-6018. You're watching Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world. And can you give a plug to our sponsor?
Our sponsor, ABB Wealth Strategies, where you can have your finances looked at. They will help you and assist you with all of your financial concerns, and you could give them a call at 248-988-8200. Again, that's ABB Wealth Strategies, 248-988-8200. They are sponsoring a movie this coming Saturday at 3 o'clock, and they are sponsoring buying you for $15. You'll get the popcorn, movie. We've got 25 restaurant coupons, a $100 Amazon gift card, and a 50-50 raffle, all for you. Come on over to the Farmington Hills Imagine on 9 Mile and Grand River, and you can see a movie, Baby Boomers, this Saturday, 3 o'clock. You're welcome to come as well.
I would love to.
Yeah, we would love to have you there. So contact ABB Wealth Strategies, 248-988-8200.
And where can they purchase tickets?
The tickets, they can call that 248-988-8200
Okay.
to reserve their seat, and the tickets are purchased at the door.
Okay, purchase
At the door of the Farmington Imagine Theater on 9 Mile and Grand River.
And if they want to make a donation?
And if they want to make a donation, thank you, Dr. Regina, they can go to metrodetroitlions.org and go to the donation button area. And the first button that you can check is for recycling furniture giveaway
Yes.
at
yes.
metrodetroitlions.org.
So, Jessica, are you meeting quite a few young people that are starting their own business? And okay, tell us about it.
Yes. So earlier when I mentioned kind of changing your circle and changing your network, and I'm not also saying to just, turn your back on everybody. That's not what I'm
Sometimes
saying.
you got to do
But
that too.
just increasing like who's in your network. So by me going to a lot of like business networking events, I've met a lot of people who have some really great businesses. I actually have a friend named Ashley who has a mobile laundry business.
Oh,
And
wow.
she just got a contract with the NFL draft while they're here.
Awesome.
Wow,
that's huge.
And
I'm
she's
telling you,
young.
that is huge.
So it's a lot of people. My significant other, my boyfriend, he has a clothing line called Bags and Clothing. Same thing, you know, the NFL draft had gave him a call in regards to them being interested in his clothing brand. We also have a joint pop-up shop that we're doing at the Easter Market the weekend of the NFL draft.
That's smart. That's real smart.
And that's smart. I like
mean,
they're a power couple already.
All right.
Yeah.
That is smart.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of great things happening in the city right now for not just Black-owned businesses, but it's young people just doing it.
I like how you said that, you know, that you have to go to these events. I went to a all day for Great Lakes. It was well from 8 to 3. That's all day for me. Conference, and what I loved about it, it was for women, and they were just, we were all there, different backgrounds, and it was just really nice meeting them and talking to them, and so centering yourself around people who are doing things, because I can't say that I'm involved with a lot of, you know, I may talk to my old friends here and there. But you're right, my circle has changed. Yeah, it really has changed. Because you really do start centering yourself around people who are doing things and who's thinking like you, and you know.
Yes, and I'm actually lucky because one of my best friends who I've known since high school, she has 3 businesses.
Okay.
So she has her like bartending business, which is Cocktails with K. She's a fashion designer.
All
So she is good because we bounce ideas off of each other.
That's awesome.
We also send each other resources. So just yesterday we were texting back and forth, like I'm sending her applications, she's sending me applications. You know, having that friend where it's like, I might not qualify, but you might. You know, it's always good having those type of people in your circle.
Great. We have a caller.
Hello, caller.
Hi, my name is LaDon. How you doing?
Hi, LaDon. Thank you for calling in.
You're welcome, and I just wanted to encourage the young lady, and I want to say to her, congratulations.
Woo-woo!
And a word of advice is to seek wise counsel. Make sure that you, I know you were talking about, you know, you have to change your circle, which you do. You have to be around like-minded people. But most importantly, center yourself around someone who has already walked that path, because they can help you where some mistakes you don't have to make. You know we have to, you know, learn some things on our own, but some things you won't have to go through if you follow the path of somebody who has already walked that path.
Yes,
That's true.
Thank you.
Please,
That's
so
very
please,
true. Thank you,
please
Miss LaDon.
Follow somebody, because somebody's watching you, and what you're going to do, you're going to tread that road, and you're going to be able to help them, so they won't have to go through the same thing that you went through. And another thing, share. Share. You know, the Bible said He gives seed to the sower. Pay attention. He gives seed to the sower. So that means you have to give knowledge. You have anytime you can be a blessing to somebody, do just that. Because when it's your turn to need something, you're going to have it. Watch what I gave you.
That is true.
All right, Miss LaDon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss LaDon, for calling in and sharing that
Yes.
valuable pieces of information.
Yes. Now, do you have a question for us as well?
No.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Thank you.
Thank you for calling. Y'all looked at me. I was engaged in something else. Somebody just told me they got COVID. People are still getting COVID.
Yes. So tell me, when you think about what type of products, now I know you, so what's going to be some of the products that you're going to highlight?
Yes. So, of course, all the big box major retail products like the Miele line, the Aunt Jackie's line.
Okay.
And these are things I get a lot of requests for. Miele, Aunt Jackie's.
You said
Curl.
Neil Jackie's?
No, Aunt Jackie's.
Aunt Jackie's.
I don't think
Yes.
I've ever heard of Aunt
The
Jackie.
natural hair care line.
Really? Okay.
Yes.
All
so
right,
I
that's
get
a new one for me, because I do natural hair care line.
for for that. I also get a lot of requests for the hair extensions.
Right.
So
Okay.
I will be here all day naming all of the
Right,
different
that's
brands
true.
of hair extensions and braiding hair and the hair for locks. It's so many different
And it
kinds.
seems like people, I see so many actresses getting involved with hair cares to have
like
their own. Vivica Fox, Candy Burris.
Yes, a lot.
The other lady on the
Taraji
same.
has
Taraji,
Taraji,
too.
yeah.
Yeah, so many people they get involved in. So there must be something into having your own hair.
yes.
Yeah. So are you going to have a lot of that too?
Yes, so I'm gonna have what I've been doing for the past couple of years. Even when I was doing pop-up shops, I would have a suggestion box, or I had like a Google form where people could just drop suggestions, and then just from talking to people, I love talking to people, or I'll ask them if I see somebody out and their hair is really nice, or they have braids or something. I'll ask them like, what's your favorite hair care product, or what do you use? And I've kind of really been secretly collecting all of this data, studying my audience to see, what are the most asked for products, or like what are the products that people are using.
So that's smart. You've been doing a customer survey.
Yes.
So you can see what to supply for your customers. That's important when you're in business. You want to see, you have to target market. So you have to see what the market is calling for in order to target it and supply what the demand is. Demand and supply.
That's true. That's very true. And so hair, I need to find out more about Aunt Jackie. Natural products, you're going to have classes that are going on. Are you going to have booths in there, though? Booths where people can come in and do hair or anything of that nature, or do wigs?
Yeah.
Okay.
So one of the special things I want to offer is going to be like one day of the week where it's going to be centered around like trying on the wigs. So one of the days would be either a Saturday where I'm going to do sip and shop Saturdays, or wig Wednesdays where it's going to be like licensed hair care professionals in there, and it'll be a chance for people to come try on wigs. I also have set days where I will have classes. It won't be me teaching the classes. I'll tell y'all that now. I do not have a hair care background, but it will be actual licensed, either natural hairstylist or someone who does weaves and sew-ins to come in, give some advice, give some tips on, what to purchase, what products, and also how to maintain your hair under sew-ins. Believe it or not, a lot of people will have, wear wigs and weaves and don't even know how to maintain their hair underneath. They get the wig and the weave and think they're good to go.
And go bald. A lot of people have gone bald because they go from the wig, they weave, and it doesn't allow their hair to breathe. So my daughter switched over to doing weaves. I said, you know what? You can put it in, and then you're gonna let your natural hair breathe.
Yeah.
You have to let it breathe, and she has healthy hair under that because of me. Because she was like,
You
"Mom, you's always
the
so
mamas will get you together."
yeah, but just knowing, and one of the I used a perm up until the age of 43, and I just felt in my spirit that if I continued, I was going to go bald, and my hair is not thin, but a lot of my friends' hair who continue with the perms, their hair is thin.
And when you get older, it gets thinner too.
Yeah, and I don't really have the thin issue. Now, this always been thin here because I took that after my dad. But I don't have that issue because when I stopped, I just recently dyed this. So I didn't put any dye in my hair. And then a lot of people put dye in perm. Not to do that. That's not good to do.
Not together.
Not together. That's what I'm saying.
Like maybe a few weeks apart or something like that.
But I'm saying they were, because the hairstylists need to tell them not to do it. It can't be about the money, right?
Right.
So just knowing, like you said, how to take care of your hair. And the best thing that happened to me was just to go short and be natural. That's the best thing. Now, that's not for everybody, so, but natural hair, I'm all in for it. Yeah.
I usually keep mine braided because I don't like doing hair.
Yeah, I flip flop back and forth. So right now is the time where I do have my natural hair. Majority of the time, though, you probably see me with a wig on.
Really? I
With all that hair.
that.
I don't like doing my hair. So
So I understand.
I like to get up and go.
Get up and go.
I love to get up and go.
If you're able to do that too, that's beautiful.
Yeah. Well, you know what? And so let me say this. Sometimes, because this required for me to put some moisture on it and moisturizer and some other stuff on it to keep it moist and curly and looking nice, and that slows me down. And so even though it takes about 15, 20 minutes, okay, I'm like, okay, Regina, this is too short. Let's go. Let's go. Well, you know what? We have run out of time. So tell us again where if anybody want to reach out to you, where they can reach you.
So I am on all the major platforms. The @ name is @JessicaBlairBeauty. And it's no underscores, no periods, nothing. It's just all together. Jessica Blair Beauty. That's on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. I am faster to respond through Instagram and Facebook than I am TikTok. So a lot of people do just shoot me a DM on either Instagram or Facebook. The website is the same. It's www.jessicablairbeauty.com.
Right.
And I also have my email that's listed on there as well for people who like to send an email.
So just go to jessicablairbeauty.com, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. But Instagram is the best one.
Instagram and Facebook is the best one.
Okay.
For people to send me messages on.
That's awesome. All right. Well, this has concluded our show. Do you have some last minute words?
No, ma'am. I'm quiet today.
Well, keep joining us on You Are Watching Community Updates and Enlightened Hearts live streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and other top social media platforms. Please like, follow, share, comment, and subscribe. Thank you for watching Wjzz Cool TV, the coolest station in the world.